The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up this evening, newly ratified F&M candidates coming out swinging. One even suggesting Angliston MP Glenys Hannah Martin may be lacking the energy as she's been at it a long time. My panel of first-time voters join me this evening. We hear from the youth panel coming up. Also tonight, it's Financial Literacy Fridays. Tonight, are you familiar with this term, lifestyle creep? Well, Howard Johnson, the CEO of Young Money Solutions, is back. Get your pen and paper ready. We get into it. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. The Free National Movement rolling out its latest candidates last evening. The party is riding the momentum it created with walkabout set for this evening in some constituencies. Jose Etienne spoke with the new candidates just as they left the podium last evening. Let's get a listen and hear some of their ideas and also just how they plan on going out in those areas and being victorious. We come back and discuss after this.
A swarm of Free National Movement supporters erupting in a frenzy at headquarters Thursday night as the party unveiled 7 newly ratified candidates. The mix included former parliamentarians and fresh faces already being thrown into the fire. Case in point, Heather McDonald, the pick for Ingliston.
With God, all things is possible. I'm a woman of faith. I'm never scared.
She's facing long odds in a progressive Liberal Party stronghold where incumbent Member of Parliament Glenys Hannah Martin has had a lock since 2002. Still, McDonald insists that she's ready.
I'm willing to work. I'm sure when she was my age, when she first went into politics, she was fired up. But I come in with more fire. I come in with new change. I come in with it to make a difference.
The F&M also making a decisive move in Killarney, tapping Senator Michaela Barnett Ellis to replace former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis. The choice now signaling a major shift.
Dr. Minnis is an F&M, and he has said that he's an F&M. So I look forward to his support. I don't see anything otherwise happening.
Businessman Lincoln Deal, who had been eyeing Killarney, was instead ratified for Freetown.
Whether you live in the east, the west, or in the islands, our concerns are still the same. We want good representation, and we want to build better communities. And you can do that wherever you are planted.
But the decision left Andrew Blue Johnson supporters crestfallen.
He's the man with that plan. He's the man with that plan.
Meanwhile, another new face, mortuary business owner Denali Penmaki, was ratified for Southern Shores. Her entry stirs talks of a showdown with incumbent MP Leroy Major, who recently blasted his own party for sidelining backbenchers. Unconfirmed reports also suggest Broadcasting Corporation General Manager Clint Watson may be considering a run.
I want ZNS to zoom this camera in. This train has left the station.
Former MP Travis Robinson is looking to make his return, seeking the Fort Charlotte seat after being voted out in Bain and Grantstown.
It's not a switch. When I came into politics, I came in to serve people. And I believe that service for people anywhere is service for people everywhere.
And stepping into politics for the first time, Trevani Clark Hall ratified for Seabreeze, who stood with Senator Maxine Seymour's support. This as the former political hopeful for the area opted not to be renominated.
Senator Maxine has left a fertile ground, and I am determined to bring it home this time around.
Ratified for Tall Pines is the party's Secretary General, Servant Roll, who's taking aim at the area's incumbent Member of Parliament, Dr. Michael Darville.
Just like how he left Pine Ridge mashup, just like he left the hospital mashup, the clinics mashup, healthcare mashed up, we gonna make sure that on election day we mash
these additions, the FNM now has 24 ratified candidates and more to be unveiled in the coming weeks. Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
Well, of course, you heard that a very energetic, a bunch just being ratified and then obviously giving their stomp speech, their first stomp speech on that podium last evening, and then speaking with Jose right after that. We're going to get into it this evening. Just what are you thinking? In particular, those first-time voters. You are familiar now with the youth panel here on Beyond the Headlines. Please welcome to Beyond the Headlines, Tafari Gibson and Aaron Jones. Gentlemen, good evening to both of you.
Thank you, Shanique, for having me. Good evening.
Aaron, can we hear you?
You can. Good evening.
Good. Okay, yes, excellent. Yes, wonderful. Good to have you here as well. Gentlemen, let's just jump right in. First of all, I mean, just your responses and your opinions of the 7 that were ratified last evening.
Shanique, I think... Go ahead, Aaron, go ahead.
Well, Shanique, I see that, of course, 7 were ratified. It's also new to me to see, quite a bit more of female representation. Within those 7 candidates, there were 4 that were female, 3 male. And of course, we all would have seen, via social media and even this news network, Jose Etienne would have interviewed Ms. Heather McDonald. She made some comments as it relates to Angliston and her seat in that. And while I personally believe that Glenys Hannah Martin has definitely built up a track record in Angliston, I think, she's doing what needs to be done. I think she has the expertise and the experience in it. I also can truly applaud Ms. Heather McDonald for the comment she made when she said, I will not attack anyone in government. I won't attack anyone, especially a woman, for the political seat. And those are political conversations we should be having. Nowadays we see so many political banters and arguments that have no correlation to what's going on in the political world. So I truly applaud Ms. McDonald for her comments as it related to that.
Are you both saying it's off-putting when politics start politicking? When they bring up every little thing and throw it any and everywhere just as a part of the game? But that's off-putting for the first-time voter? When they sort of go off track?
It moves the comfort in voting. It moves the comfort in politics. That's shifting politics to politics, and I don't stand for politics.
Tafari?
I totally agree with Aaron. With Heather McDonald, I never really got a chance to see about or even research her, but I heard the comments of, with this involving age. I think in this society today, we think that, let me explain like this. Yes, we want to see more young people, but it doesn't mean just because you're young, you automatically know what's right. I think you can still be young and cause destruction. So I think this isn't really about age. This is about whether we know what the people need. And if we look at the track record of Glenys Hannah Martin, we can clearly see that this is what Angliston needs or wants.
So you're saying Heather McDonald's comment about, listen, I'm young, I'm energetic. Hannah Martin was once this, and she brought that. No one can question it. She brought that to Angliston. But now, sort of, hey, it's my turn. It's what I'm bringing. It's what I am. You can trust and depend on me to be this energetic, hardworking person for you. You're saying you put a question mark over the reference to the age difference.
Shanique, age doesn't qualify leadership. Let's just say that. I think the age has nothing to do with this. Age shouldn't even be a question in this, because some of the youngest people are the smartest and some of the older people are the smartest. So I think in this position where we are, like Aaron said, it doesn't matter. This basically is, we turn this into politics, and now the young people start to see what was happening for years, and we start to get turned off by what is happening.
Well, it's interesting. That's why I love talking to the two of them, because it's interesting to hear. So you all are saying, listen, first of all, you don't veer so far from issues. Nobody's interested in all the extra stuff that you bring and as a part of the game. And it's a part of the game, guys. But you're saying also it's a bit off-putting, and also that you all have respect for experience in the room, as well as maybe the new ideas in the room. There's a place for both.
Shanique, I think...
Right, because even with knowing about the young statistics versus the more experienced statistics. Many older people think that young people just want it their way and they start for doing their own thing. But I personally believe it is experience that takes a country where it needs to go. And there was a lot of criticism and a lot of questioning around the Freetown position between Andrew Blue Johnson and Lincoln Deal. Many persons had many issues with the younger person getting it over the older. And I can't say I'm a bit in the middle because we want to put younger people
I don't
in the
know.
forefront.
I'll tell you this, gentlemen. I don't know what the people were saying, and I can't agree or disagree with you. However, I think that had more to do with people feeling that Lincoln Deal first appeared to be interested in a Killarney nomination, and then he was shifted very quickly to Freetown, whereas Andrew Blue Johnson felt that, wait a minute, I've been here canvassing and working this area for quite some time. You cannot just up and bring this individual and then just usher him in. I think that was more the disagreement there. I want to ask you, gentlemen. Yes, Aaron. Any other? Yes.
It's a bit of both. I would say it's the shift he made from Killarney to there. But also you have some more elder and senior persons that believe that the young man cannot handle himself in the more senior role of the country.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a crossplay between the two.
Well, I'll tell you, as you both said, age has nothing to do with your capabilities of leadership, but also it doesn't give you an automatic pass. You have got to work and show yourself approved like everyone else, and sometimes that takes a bit of getting this experience under your wings. And so, that's interesting. But let's just move on. Which other candidate stood out to you and caught your attention, and for why?
Shanique, for me, the candidate for Southern Shores caught my attention for the FNM. This was Denley Penmaki. I think that it is very different. From my time, I haven't seen a woman run in that constituency. So I think it brings some kind of change and some kind of I should say, break between, because I think in Southern Shores, it's a male-dominated territory where we rarely get to see ladies run. So I think this would be really good for the constituency, and I think something good will come out of this race.
Wow, so Denley Penmaki has your attention?
My eye was there.
Yes. Aaron, your thoughts?
Shanique, so, I grew up in Killarney for the majority of my life. And right now, Killarney is a really hot topic in the political field.
It is.
Because we have Dr. Hubert Minnis that is seeking election for this constituency. And let me just say publicly, Dr. Hubert Minnis has been in the community. He's been doing things. He's all over social media, connecting with the constituents, with the people, young and old, and he's giving back. Let me say that firstly. However, I would have watched the entire FNM rally. Anyone knows me know I follow every political organization, PLP, FNM, COI. So I was watching the FNM rally, and I saw the comments from Ms. Barnett Ellis, who is the FNM's ratified candidate for Killarney. And she made a comment that spoke to Dr. Minnis being an FNM, and so she basically seeks his support, right? However, in this season, I think Dr. Minnis is on his own thing right now. He's in the community. He's doing what he has to do. And honestly, it's possible, but I don't see her, getting the vote of the people in this constituency.
Wow. What are the people saying, Aaron? What are you hearing? Because we're going to go to the association. In fact, you know what? First, let me just go to the association, because we reached out to them here at Eyewitness News. Then I'll ask you first, because you are a resident in Killarney. I want to know, and I know, again, as you said, you pay attention, you follow these things. What are people truly saying? But listen to this first. So meanwhile, the Free National Movement's Killarney Association says it stands firmly behind its MP, Dr. Hubert Minnis, even as Senator Michaela Barnett Ellis was officially handed the party's nomination Thursday evening. We spoke with the Free National Movement's Constituency Council representative on Friday, today, and they warned the FNM of the risks of losing Killarney if Minnis isn't on the ticket. Well, he's not, and so the people say they still standing on business. Take a listen.
Why would you want to leave a good thing for something that you're not sure of? Dr. Minnis have been an excellent MP, excellent in every which way possible. Why would you want to destroy that for something that you don't know? Because if you have an association and you said that the association has, even though they would have said that the association didn't have the final say, the association should have some say. And I would say we didn't have any say.
And so you heard, it's quite interesting that even after the ratification last evening, and the Free National Movement has a walkabout this evening in Killarney, that the association is saying it matters none. We have made up our minds, and this is what we're going to do. I want to bring you in first, Aaron, as a resident of Killarney. Your thoughts on this sort of dogged determination to continue the support of Dr. Hubert Minnis by the residents in your area?
Sinead, many people believe I'm a PLP, many believe I'm FNM, many believe whatever I is. But what I believe in now is not placing party in seats. I believe in placing people in seats. The more we see the right people leading constituencies and not parties, we will see a bigger increase. And the fact that the FNM, the literal party association for that area, for this area, is standing 10 toes behind Dr. Hubert Minnis shows how much he is respected in this constituency. And if they, the FNM's organization or association, is putting full support into him, could you imagine how many residents who get a chance to communicate with him? And let me just also say, everything is not, publicized. Everything isn't on social media. But for me, who actually lives in that Western Shores area, the Cable Beach Strip and whatever you see him literally putting up in his black Jeep, talking to people and asking them questions.
Also, you can really touch, feel, listen, speak with, laugh with Dr. Hubert Minnis in Killarney.
Right.
And not just now, for years.
Right. Right, exactly.
Your thoughts on the whole, if you want to weigh in on the Killarney race, Tafari?
Well, I can totally say that I've seen Dr. Minnis. Me spending my time around with Aaron and being in the constituency, I see Dr. Minnis. And Shanique, I think if we really spend time on social media, we can clearly see not even the FNM association, but people saying they're not voting, and people who don't even live in Killarney aren't voting because Dr. Minnis isn't on the ticket. We have people in Bamboo Town.
That's spilled over in other areas?
It's spilled over in other areas, because now I saw a video of this older gentleman saying he's not voting in Bamboo Town if Dr. Minnis isn't on the FNM's ticket. So Shanique, I think this is something that the party needs to deal with inside.
But they've dealt with it though.
They haven't dealt with it because clearly they ain't getting no one to vote for them because Dr. Minnis isn't there.
But he isn't going to be in because they now have a candidate in
Killarney. Well, they should just accept that if we look at it the way that we should, they won't get this because the people know what they want.
And what are meanwhile, what is the youth vote, the first-time voter? What are your thoughts on how it played out?
Shanique, I think the young people are paying attention. If all they see is mockery and division and people boosting their ego, they're going to think that the government is about ego and not about serving people. I think we should take the time, level down our ego, and focus on the matter at hand. We have too much people focus on age, focus on the seats, focus on the party. We're missing the real cause. We need to see what's the problem and figure it out.
Well, I'll tell you this, Tafari, a good segue, because the Coalition of Independence is speaking out this evening. The stakes are high as the political landscape shapes up and the candidates get busy. Delano Roca has more as he spoke with Lincoln Bain earlier today.
While the FNM is hoping its new slate will reignite support, the Coalition of Independence is firing back. Leader Lincoln Bain insists that despite the new names, the party remains weighed down by its old record.
These candidates will not be able to do anything for this nation. They can only do what the party does. Many candidates come with many ideas, what they're going to do, and they present their qualifications every time, and they present a dream team and a bridge to the future every single time. And then we wonder where these qualifications gone after a few months in power, because they can't do anything. And it's because they can only do what benefits the party. And so they are forced to sit down and be silent.
Bain cast doubt on the credibility of the new recruits, arguing that many remain closely tied to the past administration, which he says left voters disappointed. He reminded the public of scandals that marred the FNM's last term, insisting that a fresh face doesn't erase the old political baggage.
And their party was accused of many scandals in the last administration. We still don't know what happened to the drones. We don't know what happened to the visa scandals that was going on. I'm talking about the health visa that was going on. The fact that our heritage sites were going to be managed by persons within the FNM. There were many scandals that we were very disappointed as a people when we had a lot of hope in these people to really bring change.
Still, Bain struck a note of optimism, zeroing in on Killarney as a key contest. Following the ratification of Senator Michaela Barnett Ellis, he believes the COI is well positioned to break the FNM's hold in the area.
We're very confident that the people of Killarney are wise people, and they see the direction that this country is going in and is not a good direction, and they are going to give Dr. MacGyver a chance. We've been walking the grounds, we've been canvassing the grounds, and there seems to be a lot of support for change on the grounds in Killarney and in all constituencies.
When pressed on what sets the COI apart from the PLP and FNM, Bain was clear, saying his party isn't burdened by decades of broken promises or political entanglements.
Change always comes from new parties and new individuals. When many persons took office, they didn't have political experience. And maybe that's what we need, because the persons with political experience have failed us every time. What has that brought us? It's taken this country backwards to where the country is barely functional. And so we need persons not connected to the old system, that old system of the same people benefiting every time while the people suffer and get more taxes.
With such a direct and passionate message, the Coalition of Independence is making its case as a viable alternative as the political temperature continues to rise heading into the next general election. Delana Roker, Eyewitness News.
Well, you all heard that report there with Delana Roker speaking with Lincoln Bain, leader of the Coalition of Independence. And so, of course, you heard Bain question the commitment of these, and specifically speaking now of the FNM's candidates, to really serve the people, their qualification, their track record in bringing service to the Bahamian people. He also said, get this, Aaron, for you in your area, he says, listen, he is confident that the COI will win Killarney. Jump in.
Shanique, let me also publicly say what I remember to say. I support Lincoln Bain in several of his endeavors and his aims in the country. I do believe that it's time for some changes in the country. Some things need to be done differently. Revolution needs to be brought to the country. So I support him in several areas. However, this area is not one of those areas. I think, like I said, I believe Dr. Minnis has some serious weight in the Killarney area. I don't find that COI will be able to win this seat. It's possible. I'm not knocking them down. But right now, the momentum is pretty high behind Dr. Hubert Minnis. And then also, Lincoln Bain made a comment about the qualifications of the ratified candidates from the FNM. And I don't say this to judge, but the COI also has some candidates who aren't fully qualified to hold seats and aren't fully qualified to represent certain areas, right? So let's not point the blame game, and let's give everyone a fair chance to represent. And Shanique, while I remember, I want to wrap up now, get surprised that I talked too long.
You do.
While I remember, let me say this, while I remember. I saw many posts on Instagram and Facebook between the last 2 days that speak about Senator Maxine Seymour's announcement of her not running again, right? And we can see a possibility of two things from this, and one is very strong. The first one is she just is tired of the political game. She wants, she's finished with it for right now. She's moving on to bigger things. Of course, representing the Senate. Or it could be she doesn't like the leadership of the FNM. Many persons are saying that she's stepping away because she doesn't like the way it's going in. I can't speak for her. I can't read her mind or say her thought.
I can't speak for either. Aaron, I can't speak for her, and I don't know. Who knows exactly what her reasonings are, but I'll tell you, this week when she made it, and in fact, it didn't even happen as normal, just a statement. No, she actually spoke with the media, and standing just a little ways behind her, beside her, but just a little sort of behind, was FNM leader Michael Pintard. Was that intentional for optics reasons? Who knows? But he was standing there as she told the nation, let's listen, hey, I'm going to pull back from politics at this moment, frontline politics.
I'm saying because you saw many persons in the comments that said, she realized that F&M ain't doing what they need to be doing. And like I said, I can't speak for her or them, but it is definitely food for thought. Why is she stepping down? Is it the F&M's leadership? Has Michael Pintard not been doing what he should be doing is the question.
Thank you so much, Aaron. But I want to just to piggyback off what Aaron said. I think many parties have people in it that ain't making no sense. And I think, like Aaron said, the COI shouldn't point arms because we can point arms at the party and say who we think shouldn't run in these constituencies. But Shanique, I also want to say that power without purpose is very dangerous. And I think today everyone wants to be in a leadership position and doesn't have any purpose. And what I want to say is, if you want to sound smart, talk vision. Because everyone talking about who can do this and who ain't supposed to run for this. If you want to sound smart, COI, PLP, F&M, let's talk vision. Let's not talk age. Let's not talk who been in these scandals. Let's not talk those. Let's talk vision because we're not worried about that. None of these stuff which y'all talking
So the first time voter could care less?
We could care less about who been into jail.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, seriously?
It does not matter.
Well, gentlemen, go ahead, Aaron.
Also piggyback off of that, right? I believe in clear campaign and strategic campaign planning, right? I hate to see, and as a young person who is involved in government and political agendas things, I hate to see when a political organization base their campaign on antagonizing another party. I believe that in your campaigning and in your presentation to the Bahamian people, we want to hear what you will do. We want to hear how you will do it. We want to hear your execution plans. I am so sick and tired of hearing different political organizations beat up on one another and say, oh, they ain't doing that, they ain't doing this, they look at it. We want to hear what you are going to do. Speak about how you will better my life as a Bahamian citizen.
Oh, you were saying, because, it's really part of the game. You got to point out what your opponent is or isn't doing, how they did it, the fact that they're sloppy, if they're not sloppy, or they quality. All of this is a part of it. But you're saying, don't forget to include your vision.
Right. Yes.
The people want to hear what you plan on doing. Should you be given an opportunity to do so?
And the question is, what kind of legacy are we leaving? The Bahamas we're shaping is for our children and children to inherit. What is the legacy we're leaving? We're going to worry about the age? Are we going to worry? What kind of legacy are we leaving for people like Aaron's children to come? We need to think of the legacy like that, Shanique.
Yes, yeah. I thank you both very much. Of course, my youth panel, they are first-time voters, and y'all excited about voting, or?
Yeah.
So.
Where the excitement going? They were very energetic.
Very excited. Yes. Very excited.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yes.
So well here on YouTube now.
Yes, I thank you all so much for being here. And listen, you all, you hear their voices. This is unrehearsed, unscripted. No kind of what your thoughts are. They just talk. It's their opinions and they speak. And so I thank you both very much, Takari Gibson, Aaron Jones. Thank you so much. Good to see you guys. Of course, looking to hear more of your views coming up and as we continue straight to Election Day. Thank you all very much. Beyond the Headlines is back right after this, and when we come back, make sure you have your notepads and your pens, maybe even a pencil, because you may have to erase some stuff and then write it again, because we are talking Financial Literacy Fridays. Back in a moment.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Call now to get more of the care you need.
Carrie's Fabric and Uniform Store wants to get you ready for back to school.
They have ready-made uniforms and uniform fabrics for almost every school in the Bahamas.
At Carrie's, find skirts, blouses, shirts, jumpers, boy shorts and long pants, neckties, socks, and
You
more.
can even have your uniform skirts custom made.
Check out our selection of embroidered cotton shirts.
That's Carey's Fabric and Uniform Store on Mackey Street.
Call us at 393-0758 or 817-0758.
This year marks a milestone. The OWN Foundation is celebrating 10 years of impact, innovation, and inspiration. Join us for OWN Talks, September 12th at the Atlantis Resort, Paradise Island at 7 p.m. for a transformative experience under the theme, Activate. Taking the stage are world-renowned leaders and visionaries. Sebastian Bastian, visionary entrepreneur, philanthropist, and CEO of Island Luck and Wise Technology Group. Barbara Corcoran, legendary real estate mogul, entrepreneur, investor, and star of Shark Tank. Vusi Tembekwayo, global business strategist, venture capitalist, and one of Africa's most influential thought leaders. Be part of this unforgettable evening as the OWN Foundation celebrates a decade of purpose and progress. And together, we activate the future.
This segment is brought to you by EV Motors Fleet Sales Division. For 2026 commercial vehicles, call 821-2403 today.
Good to have you all tuned in. I thank you so much for being here. We're going to shift gears now and go to this monthly segment that we have. Of course, Financial Literacy Fridays, and so many of you look forward to it. Just based on the response that you give anywhere around the nation, so many of you are happy for this segment and look forward to it. Of course, we had it weekly before, and now we have it once a month. And if we need to increase that, we will, because everybody understanding now the importance of becoming smarter financially, of making the right decisions. Well, in this edition of Financial Literacy Fridays, and this month, we are looking at lifestyle creep. Howard Johnson is a well-qualified, experienced financial mind who works in finance, who works, of course, his career is all about that on a different level entirely in the United States. But he also is CEO of Young Money Solutions, helping people throughout the United States. People now picking up a number of Bahamians are saying, wait a minute, Howard, you can't take all this information just to the United States or keep it there. Share it with your people back here. So he's also working with a growing number of Bahamians, and then giving us free advice here on this segment, this continuing segment. And so welcome back to Beyond the Headlines, Howard. Good evening to you. It's great to see you.
Good evening, Shanique, and good evening, Bahamas. It's a pleasure to be here. Always a pleasure to be with you on Beyond the Headlines.
It's good to have you here. Thank you so much. And I am intrigued because I, too, have found myself changing my habits, doing a lot of things differently because of these segments and these sessions. But let's talk for a moment about the responses you've been getting.
Well, lots of people, Shanique, just like you, every time we conclude the Friday night segment, it shows, and people watch it, I get inundated with WhatsApp messages, I get calls. We do get messages as well on Young Money's Facebook Messenger page. And people are just really happy and relieved that they have what I would say is an advocate in your show, and an advocate in me being the personal finance expert that comes on and provides some advice and some clarity in dealing with finances, which is a very murky, for lack of a better word, subject in our, Black and brown communities, because historically, that's not been something that we're really great at. And so I'm really happy that you came to me with this proposal to do this segment late last year, early this year, and it's just been great. Everyone has just been ecstatic about it.
Yeah, it's really awesome. People are realizing, and I'm happy that Bahamians are paying attention because, we have been criticized oftentimes of not saving. of not having a respect for money, of not understanding the value of money. And it's good to see that that is slowly changing. It's not going to change with just one discussion or one interview. It has to be something that has to be repeated so people can really begin to say, wait a minute, what am I doing with my finances?
Yes.
And so let's look at this week's or this month's topic. We have topics every month, and all of them are really, really beneficial and loaded. Lifestyle creep. Let's talk about that. Let's get into it. Let's kind of flesh that out. And what is it about? What is it exactly?
Yes. So lifestyle creep is a term that is really common in personal finance circles and in the space here in the United States. A lot of people back home might not know it as lifestyle creep, but we know it as other terms. So one of the terms that we may know it as is keeping up with the Kardashians.
That's right.
It's keeping up with the Joneses. And from my generation, our generation, Shanique, it was splurging, blinging, and what else? Splurging, blinging, and flossing. You know, that's what it is. Lifestyle creep is similar to that. And then for the younger folks, like, you know, my kids' age and stuff, I guess they would say it's the come up or leveling up, right?
Leveling up.
Exactly. But in layman's terms, I think we could define lifestyle creep as when a person's spending increases as their income increases. So what they do is adjust their spending patterns, adjust their spending habits
to match
accommodate
what the
this
new
newfound income. Yes. And that's basically what it is in layman's terms. And they do that instead of rerouting that money or that new money to paying off debts, to saving and investing, basically taking care of the financial goals or stepping up
the
contributions to the financial goals.
Yeah, let's just talk about how this new money shows up. New money, guys, whether it's a promotion and salary increase, maybe an extra income that you have going on, but instead of making that really count and matter, you just, as Howard said, you're trying to keep up. Now we could just do so much more, we think, but not doing the right things and the smartest things.
Right. So the most common thing is you get a promotion at work, right? Or you get a raise at work, even if you don't get a promotion. And so instead of making $80,000 a year, now you're making $150,000. So conventional wisdom relative to personal finance would say, take the majority of that money. Because, hey, remember now, if you were making $80,000 for the last 5 years and you start making $150,000, you can still live on $80,000.
You can. Because you've been doing it.
You've been doing it. Or if you follow the 60-30-10 rule, where 10% is for your wants, Young Money talked about this on the show some months ago, 10% increase 10%. Give yourself 10% of that $150,000 to play with. But the other 90%, it has to go on your personal finance goals, your priorities. So the promotion and the increase in salary is one of the major things that's going to impact most of us. Some of us, however, may come into a windfall. We may win the lottery. You know, if anybody gets to box that number when they walk into an Island Luck web shop and they box this number and they win big and they walk in Island Luck's corporate offices and they come to get the piper paid, then, you know, you have this windfall. Or if you're fortunate enough to have a wealthy relative who is now deceased and left you a big chunk in that will, these are the things that will allow you to have that lifestyle creep if you are not smart about it. And Shanique, remember the topic for the day is lifestyle creep, the silent wealth killer. Not the disruptor, you know, not the interrupter, the killer, meaning this, if you are not smart about this,
can ruin your life. Yes,
it will destroy your financial
totally
life
destroy your financial life. And it's
okay?
important, Howard, because many people go and live lavish, you know, they come up on some money, regardless of how, any of those things you described, right? Or a nice bonus, whatever it is, and they go and they have fun. then they want to come to you and expect you. I heard somebody said, I was watching some educational video this week, and it says, no, I expect the lady and her husband to give me what it is I ask for because they have it. They're both driving BMWs. Excuse me, they go on lavish vacations. They only have 2 kids. Why can't they help me?
Yes. And, you know, as we keep moving along with this, in addition to the income increase, we have things like subscription overloads, right? As you begin to make more money, you want to do more things. I have a gym membership. Now I'm going to upgrade that, right? My streaming services, I'm going to get the top tier in all of the streaming services. I want to watch all the NBA and NFL primetime games instead of just 1 or 2 per week, right? And what else do we do? Delivery apps is, you know, I don't have to go out anymore. You know, I'm going to start using Uber Eats and all of these other things.
Listen,
whatever it is locally in the Bahamas.
I think we have a delivery service here, but y'all have several that people have just come to totally build their lives around now. I mean, and then all those various fees, and like you say, those fees outside of the main fee to actually attain the thing, those fees add up.
Yes, and Shanique, the worst abuser in this category is keeping up with your peers.
Don't jump ahead of me, Howard. How about the I deserve it mentality? That you would find that, I don't know, I think among a certain demographic of Americans, maybe you find that more prominent, but Bahamians have this I deserve it mentality, and why not? Just as I gave you the example, and they want it now. They want that wonderful rush and feeling very accomplished and everything now, then come to you because they deserve it. You deserve to give them this thing. Hey, whatever. So what if they splurge and ruin their stuff? Come on, they deserve yours.
Absolutely. And one of the biggest ways this I deserve it mentality hits us, it was my experience too. You go through 4 years of college, or 5 years if you're doing a master's, or even beyond that if you're doing a PhD. And you know you're living off ramen noodle and hot dogs and soda and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden you get out and you get this big job and it's paying you the big bucks. You making that coin, Shanique. And so what do? I deserve it. I deserve to splurge. I was using the same clothes for the last 4 years. I only had 2 pairs of shoes or tennis that I was wearing the whole time I was in college. And now I'm making bank. I deserve to buy a whole new wardrobe. I deserve to get the Mercedes. I deserve to get the Range Rover. I deserve to upgrade where I'm living. I deserve that new space, that more expensive apartment, or I deserve to go and get a bigger house. That's the I deserve mentality in action.
Yeah, and it's quite ugly. It shows up so ugly that it just so off-putting, you know. But how do the person then on the receiving end of that, how do they respond? Because after all, they've been responsible. They've done the right things, and they are actually in a position of surplus and abundance. Should they feel in any which way as guilty and as though they owe this individual to step up and assist and fund their lives?
No. Everybody has to be responsible for their own selves, Shanique. We've always discussed in this segment where folks need to find creative ways in which they can bring in additional income, correct?
Yep.
You don't deserve some of what somebody else has. You deserve to go out there and create your own way and make your own path to make your own money. And we've discussed many, many, many ways on this show in which you can do things to level up your education, level up yourself with training and certifications so that you can make more money. You can start a business and increase your income. These are the things that you have to do to make sure that you can take care of financial priorities for yourself.
Absolutely. Now, let's go to the point that you raised before, keeping up with peers.
Yes. Now, everybody in their peer group is not of the same socioeconomic status. We know that, right? When we were growing up, we went to school with some people who were on the same socioeconomic level as us. we went to school with people who were on a lower socioeconomic status than us, and we were in school with folks who were in a higher socioeconomic status with us. So if we come into this windfall or this increase in disposable income or cash or wealth, obviously human nature dictates that we have to level up, and we feel pressured to match the spending habits of our more affluent friends, not our broker friends.
No. We don't aspire there. We have to, like you say, level up.
We want to level up to our more affluent friends. So
Yes.
this is where we want to keep up with the Kardashians, and this is where we
And
want to
listen,
keep up
aren't you
with the
surprised
Joneses.
of the fact that just the average person is really trying to keep up with the Kardashians?
Yes. And this is why we call it the silent. It's not loud,
No, it's not.
It's the silent wealth killer, because financial freedom means that you are being a responsible custodian of what you have and also what you accumulate. And accumulation comes from this segment that we're talking about now, the lifestyle creep. The money that comes from that lifestyle, because you possess the ability to adjust your lifestyle upwards, doesn't mean that you should press the accelerator all the way to the floor. Like I said, give yourself something out of that. I'm not fully knocking the I deserve it mentality. I said, though, 10%. 10% of whatever that increase is in your income, those winnings or that gift from the dead relative, whatever it is, take 10% out of it, go play. International trips, go and watch the Dolphins play. Go and make upgrades to your home.
Yes.
Go on an extra vacation, but only with that 10%. Anything and everything else must be rerouted to financial priorities.
Listen, we in the middle of this stuff now. Yeah, we didn't talk about what you shouldn't be doing and what gets you in this financial problem, and the fact that you can get out. There's hope. After this break, Howard is going to be talking about some action-oriented steps and strategies that you can put in right now to avoid lifestyle creep. Beyond the Headlines is back right after this. Stay close.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. This Friday, of course, this is a teachable moment for you. I hope that you all are taking your notes. You obviously can catch this show, go to our YouTube channel, the Facebook channel. You can watch this again, and it repeats as well. So you have ample time and opportunities to get this information. It's fantastic. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Howard Johnson, who is CEO of Young Money Solutions. He also works in finance in the United States, but this organization that he's CEO of teaches persons around the United States of just what he's been doing with us since the beginning of the year. Managing your money better, growing your money, investing, budgeting and saving, just so much and so important to all of us. And if you come into that like extra source of income or whatever it is, then the time to go wild and do the extra. You know what I mean? Like the time for that, like plan for it. It's okay to do it, but plan for it. But make sure you're doing the smart things so that you can continue shoring up your quality of life and your savings and all your investments and all the rest of that. So Howard, listen, we're going to shift gears now and we're going to talk about the actionable steps and strategies to avoid so that you don't fall into that lifestyle creep little situation thing.
Yes, and Shanique, in keeping with what your show does, right, and attempts to do on a nightly basis, what would financial freedom or financial literacy Fridays be with just addressing the problems and not
giving the
coming up with solutions, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what we're doing here.
Absolutely.
So there are 4 action-oriented strategies to avoid lifestyle creep. And the first one is something that we talked about way back when, and we have to recycle these things.
Absolutely.
Because it's all about creating habits. It's all about creating routines and habits. So the first one, number 1, is automate your savings first. So that growth, that increase, you have to put what is going to be set aside for financial goals and priorities. It has to be on automatic. Now, what does that mean? Direct deposit from the paycheck in the Bahamas, in America, and setting up those transfers, if it's not through direct deposit, some other way where you transfer it automatically, because let's be real, when we rely on us, our human nature, sometimes we don't have the self-control. If we make the mistake of seeing that money hit our account and have to trust ourselves to manually move that money,
I'll do it.
It may never happen. It may never happen. So the reason why we have to do this is because it will prevent us from spending the overflow. Okay? So we set up the transfers. For those of us who are unable to do banking, if you're in Maguana, if you're in Cat Island, if you're in some parts of Eleuthera where they've been removing banks in recent years, you know, my home, Eleuthera, you need to use, excuse me, the envelope method. I introduced the envelope method some shows back.
Yeah.
Let's get the envelopes out and let's start envelope stuffing for our priorities. My emergency fund, for the rent fund, the Be Ready fund for repairs and expenses around the house, for the investing, for the retirement accounts. Let's do these things so that we will be armed and ready to save money for financial priorities.
Let's talk about the Save More Tomorrow strategy.
Yes. So Save More Tomorrow means every time you get that increase, you increase your savings rate proportionally. And that goes back to what I said. Let's do the 10%. So if you get this raise, if you're making, let's say you go from 80,000, and my math may not be mathing, these are just examples. If $80,000 a year equates to $8,000 a month, right? And you go from $8,000 a month now to $35,000 a month.
Yeah, that
well,
sounds good.
And let's say you were out of your $8,000 a month, you were saving $2,000. Well, if you're now at $35,000 a month, you have to increase that to $15,000, right? So
Yes.
that's what you're doing. You are saving more because you are making more. So that is the Save More for Tomorrow strategy, where as it increases on one end, you increase it on the other end.
How about creating a lifestyle cap?
Yes. So number two is where you create a lifestyle cap, where the why for this is keeping your core expenses aligned with your long-term financial goals. So you have to cap the spending. You have to say, okay, I've been rolling with my Honda Accord for the last 10 years, and I need to upgrade. This car, you didn't have a car note for the last 10 years. You had absolutely no car note. What you have to do, though, is be intentional and deliberate and say, yes, I need a new car, but I'm not going to go over $40,000 for a car. So I am going to ensure that the check that I cut when I walk into Sandpin Motors or whatever other auto place in Nassau to buy this vehicle, I'm only writing a check for 40 grand. And that's what I'm walking in there with. I am not walking in there with a blank check. And that is how you cap. You cap because you are intentional and deliberate about what you are doing. You go to put a down payment on a house, you want to buy a house. This house is not going to cost any more than $350,000. That's what I'm going to mortgage for, even though I am able to afford more. You are capping yourself to ensure that you don't fall victim to that silent killer.
Yes. Now let's look at practice delayed gratification.
Yes. And we talked about the delayed gratification, if your viewers remember, just last show, because we were talking about impulse buying. It is the same thing. The why in this strategy is it helps to curb impulsive purchases that leads to financial regret. And how do we do this? That 24 or 48-hour rule that we call the cooling off period, where when we hot up and we ready to go and buy this thing, man, I see this thing drop on Amazon Prime, man, I go into this Burna Boy concert and I gain in VIP, Buju come into Nassau and ain't nobody stopping me. Listen, what you have to do is say to yourself, let me think about this for 24 hours. Do I need to see Buju this year? Do I need to go to this Burna Boy concert? Do I need to beat this Amazon Prime Day bad with this 10 grand I have? Give yourself some time to cool off and think this thing through and create a wish list for yourself. That's another thing that we can do. During the period where we are going through the 48 or 24-hour rule, let's create a wish list and review it. All of these things that we're so adamant that we're going to do now, let's just create the wish list and say, this is my wish list, not my to-do list. This is my wish list. And instead of buying on impulse, I am going to check these boxes off after I've thought critically and intelligently rather than doing it on impulse.
And this is another point. Of course, the list is this is not limited to what all the other ideas are, but regularly review your budget and goals. Why is that important?
Yes, and it is important because it is connected to exactly what we're talking about now. You have come into money that was not there. And it is a cascade of money. If the income rises significantly, you've come into money very quickly, and a lot of it. So you have to ensure that you are reviewing now. Let me look at my budget. I know what I'm living off of, and I know what I'm doing on $80,000. Because I've now gone to $150,000, I need to review my budget. And why do I need to review my budget? Because I'm smart and I'm only allocating 10% of that new money to my fun and my entertainment. So you have to now tinker with the budget. And you also have to review your budget and make changes because you're going to increase the flow into your financial priorities. So 3 months after you come into this largesse, you review your budget again to make sure you're abiding by it, to make sure that you're not cutting any corners, and you're not skipping any steps in keeping with the goals that you've established for yourself. Regular review keeps you from becoming complacent, and it also keeps you from cutting corners and cheating.
It is really needed. All these points are necessary. Of course, you can reach out to Howard on Young Money Solutions Facebook page. They get back to you and respond very, very quickly. But this is all very necessary to get all of us in a better, healthier financial space. After all, that is the goal, right, Howard?
Yes, that is definitely the goal.
Yes.
And as always, we want to do three things, Shanique, before we go. We always want to do three things. We want to make sure that we have these financial goals and priorities set up and financed because, one, we want to make sure that we can take care of ourselves and live comfortably in retirement.
Absolutely.
2, we want to leave a legacy for our immediate heirs and successors, our children. And 3, we want to establish a long-term legacy that spans multiple generations, where 4 and 5 generations of Millers and Johnsons can live off of the money from the good habits that we've established here in 2025.
Excellent. Great, great, great. Looking forward to next month's masterclass session. Thank you so much, Howard Johnson. It's good seeing you. It's good to have this information before us. And let's put it into action this month, eh? How about that? Let's just make this month and apply this bit of knowledge as we move forward. This month meaning September, because you all know it's the end of August already.
Yes.
So looking forward to seeing you in September, though.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Absolutely. I want to thank, of course, tonight's guest, the youth panel. Thank you so much for being here. And Howard Johnson from Young Money Solutions, thank you as well. I want to say a big thank you to all of you for tuning in all week long. I certainly enjoyed having you along, as well as this evening. I look forward to seeing you right back here on Monday evening for the entire Beyond the Headlines team. I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a blessed weekend, everyone.